Hi guys, welcome back to the Drone Files. In this video we have a review of an RC car, and this time around it's the JJRC Highlander, which is a four-wheel drive RC truck. So let's have a look at what's inside the box. So the JJRC Highlander is available at GearBest for about $70 shipped, and I believe it's quite good value because JJRC, as we all know, is famous for producing RC products that are quite good in value and are quite affordable. Okay, so in this box we have the here we have the gun controller. Seems pretty well built for an RC car that costs less than $100. It is powered by 3 AA batteries. They are not included. And over here is the truck itself. So it comes with a spare wheel, which I think you're supposed to install at the back here. And it even has real shock absorbers. So they are protective plastic sheets, plastic covers that cover the fairings that you need to remove. So the battery is over here, and so here we have the user manual and some spare parts and some tools here. There is also a charger for the battery. So overall, I'm quite impressed by what they've provided. It's only $70, but seems quite a good deal for a car like this. So I'll be giving the battery a charge, and we'll bring it out for a test drive, so hang around. Okay, so I've just given the Highlander a full charge, and okay, one more thing I forgot to mention earlier on is that the steering system and the throttle control are proportional. So this is a big step up if you're coming from a cheaper toy RC car that costs $20 to $30, the ones that do not feature proportional control. That means if you press the throttle, it's either on or off. So with proportional control, a slight gentle push means the car will go slowly, and the deeper you push, the faster it will go. So this gives a more realistic control of the car, and that includes the steering here. So the cheaper cars will not have proportional control for the steering. So if you turn it left, it will go full left and full right instead of gradually to the left and right. Okay, so the Highlander also features independent suspension on the front and rear. So you have quite a lot of travel for the suspension. And there are also light holders, but they are not provided, so you have to purchase your own LED lights where you can install up in here and here. And overall the material is made out of I believe nylon, which is flexible instead of ABS, so that's a good thing. So you can really crash it, and it won't crack easily. Another thing I need to mention is because it costs less than $100, you don't really have many metal parts like the suspension system, you don't really have metal parts. All these are plastic, I believe nylon, and well, that's what they do to keep the price down. And I've actually been test driving the Highlander for a few times, and what I discovered was that the motor tends to overheat easily if you're going very slow. Maybe if you're not going full speed and let it cool down, it tends to overheat. And the Highlander actually has fail-safe features which allows it to shut off the motor when it overheats, so to prevent it from getting permanently damaged. So whenever you feel that the throttle, whenever it just stops and doesn't move, that means it's overheating. And there is a red LED light inside that will start to blink when it overheats. So when it's solid red, that means it's ready to go. But when it's blinking, it's either the radio is off, the remote controller is off, or the motor is overheating. So I'm not really sure why it tends to overheat easily. There is a heatsink that is installed on the motor somewhere below here. The motor is located here, and there is a heatsink installed there, and it does tend to get hot easily. I'm not really sure why. Maybe because I'm just driving too slow. So with the Highlander, there is no need to bind your transmitter. All you need to do is just turn it on, and there are two LED lights here. So once you turn it on, it will immediately bind with the Highlander. And it does have auto shutdown feature, which means if you're not using it for some time, it will shut off by itself, and that includes the car. So okay, let's give it a test drive. So as you can see, a slight push means it will be going slowly. So I'll make it wider here. It is quite responsive for four-wheel drive. And you can even drift with this thing if the surface is not okay. I'll bring it backwards a bit more. Okay, so I've just pushed the camera back a bit for wider view. Oh, good. So, one thing I forgot to mention is that the covers for the lights tend to come off easily, and you just saw one of the covers coming off here. So if you're gonna drive it in a location like maybe a grassy field or something, and if you're gonna drive aggressively, make sure you remove these covers and keep them, otherwise you might lose them. And another thing you need to do is to check whether these bolts are firmly screwed in, because if you lose this in a grassy field, it's gonna be very difficult to find. So it's a very nice car for drifting. Oh, it's this. So yeah, overall for a RC car that costs less than $100, this JJRC Highlander does provide plenty of value. It is not as good maybe as the $100 or $200 cars. Those feature brushless motors, while this one features a brush motor, which is cheaper and less durable. But then again, this is less than $100, so if you want to experience what those more expensive cars feel like, you can try this. It's definitely great value, and yeah, it's a step up if you're coming up from a cheaper $20 car, the ones that do not feature realistic proportional control for the steering and throttle. There are also upgrades for the lights here. You can even put your own lights, and even the head can turn. So yeah, the only difference between this one is probably the durability of the material, the components. And I believe this has a top speed of about 30 kilometers per hour, which is actually, I think, more than enough for most people. Unless you're gonna race, maybe to win a race or something, then probably 30 will not be enough. But for most people, I believe 30 is enough, it's fast enough. And it does make a great RC toy for kids or adults who want something more realistic than the cheaper RC cars. As I mentioned earlier, there are independent suspension, although I don't believe this is oil absorbers, but they do feature spring absorbers here. It's a nice feature to have. Yeah, for $70, this is a great value buy. So I hope I've covered everything you need to know about the JJRC Highlander. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in my video below. This unit was kindly sponsored by Gearbest, so be sure to check them out. I've included the affiliate link below. So if you've liked this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. So till the next video, I'll see you again. Goodbye.